Nicole. Thank you for coming back to my channel. And today I'm going to be giving you guys a serious video of some health issues that I've had this year. And I actually just turned 30, so I actually don't usually have a lot of health issues. But this year, for some reason, things have been kind of turning up. So I'm going to give you guys the story and let me know if you guys can relate to this. So firstly, this started this summer. So in the middle, or actually the beginning of July was actually the week of the 4th of July is when my health issues started to progress. So it was like the day of the holiday weekend. Like I think it was like the Friday or Thursday before the 4th of July. And I actually had like a little bit of swelling after I woke up in the morning, like on my cheek. And I didn't think anything of it much. And I went back to bed for a little bit and I noticed that the swelling went up like close to my eyeball. And I freaked out immediately and I told my mom and my sister, and they're like, yeah, you should probably go and, see a doctor. And I had to figure out if I wanted to go to the ER or urgent care, which was not fun. And I wasn't sure who could help me best because I was like, oh, well, it depends on what the issue is and, how severe it is. So I actually ended up going to urgent care first. And then I was like, well, if they want to send me to the ER, then they can just send me there later on. Luckily, I did not have to go there though. So I ended up going to urgent care first and I went there right away after I had that issue because I didn't want to, I was freaking out. I was literally having almost like a panic attack because I've never had like swelling underneath my eye and it was like moving up my face, which scared me. I was just terrified of like losing my eyesight. So I went to urgent care and once I got there, I was very lucky that there was no one there. So I don't know if people were already getting ready for the weekend or if like I caught it at the right time, like right before it and a weekday, but I ended up going there and then I had some issues when I got there. So it took a little bit for me to be seen, like a few minutes, but not anything too long. It would have been way longer if I went to the ER versus urgent care and also more expensive out of my pocket. However, so when I went there, they evaluated me and they told me that they thought it was like an abscess, which is like a face infection. So it was spreading. And then I wasn't sure if they'd be able to treat me there. They were talking about like sending me to my dentist, but they actually had me prescribed like some kind of like deep medication because I guess it was like a pretty bad infection on my face. It spread so quickly too, which was crazy. Like within a few hours, very scary. I got on a prescription for a very strong medication and it cleared up my face in a few days and then I had to go to the dentist to get my face checked out and everything was fine, thank God, but it was very scary. I've never had it travel up my face. So if you guys have a similar issue, just go into urgent care or the dentist, whatever is available to you, but sometimes dentists are not available on the holidays, so that is why I ended up getting treated there with some medication and then just waited until I saw the dentist later. But it ended up working out, thank God. It just took a little bit of time. And then I also had some issues later on right after that. So after I had that issue, I ended up feeling some itchiness and like a rash on my back. And I was like, oh my gosh, what is that? So I contacted my primary care doctor thinking like, maybe I needed to see like a dermatologist and see what was going on. My family has some issues with like skin cancer. Like my dad had like basal cell carcinoma and then my cousin had melanoma a long time ago. My skin is really prone to skin cancer. And I have really light skin and a lot of moles. I spent a lot of time outside as a kid. I was also a lifeguard and an athlete too I was a cross country runner and track runner, so I was constantly outside as a kid. And so I was like, okay, I need to get into the dermatologist, but with my new health care, I had to get a pre-authorization from my primary care doctor. So I booked an appointment with my primary care doctor, and first up, it took me a while to even see her because I don't know what it was, but recently everyone's been so booked up, I think like right before school starts. So it took me like almost a month to even be seen by my primary care doctor. And then once I was seen by her, and I also got some other shots too, and she looked over other things too, more general. And I was there and she was like, yeah, you know, I normally don't refer people to the dermatologist unless if there's something changing or something abnormal. And I was like, well, are you going to be sending me there? And she's like, actually, I'm going to be. And she's like, the reason I'm going to be sending you there too is because you had some changing on your back, like with the redness. And also she noticed a mole on my back that was like flat, that she was like, yeah, you might want to have that checked out to see if they need to do anything with it on my back. So she referred me, and once I got the referral, I was able to get an appointment within like 2 weeks, which is pretty good. And I was pretty surprised that I got in that quickly, considering it took longer for my primary care doctor to get in there to see her. So that was pretty nice. But then once I actually got to see my dermatologist, I was a little bit nervous because I'm like, oh my gosh, I've never, well, not in recent years, I should say. The last time I was at my dermatologist was like middle school. I actually had like some kind of blood vessel on my face when I was really little. I don't know what it was from. And it made me really self-conscious, and my parents took me there and they were talking about getting it removed or zapped or something off my face. And they told me to wait because apparently you can outgrow it. But it ended up like going off my face. I ended up outgrowing it on my face and it's not there. So I never had to get the procedure done. But if I would have done it back then, I wouldn't have needed done it but they told me, oh, you don't have to do it most likely because, you know, you are still pretty young and you're still growing. So thankfully I did not do that. But that was the first time I was there when I was older. And this is different issues like for my skin. So I got there and signed in. And then when I went to the doctor, they brought me back in the room and they did a full body scan on me and asked me what was going on. And it sounded like, you know, she wasn't too concerned because she's like, yeah, you know, you just turned 30. And she was also really nice. She's a very nice dermatologist. Definitely recommend her. And very nice, very in and out and sweet. Knew what she was talking about. And she looked at my rash first and she was like, oh, you know what? There's some kind of cream that she gave me for it. It was some kind of like fungal bacteria rash. I guess this is pretty normal for like 30-year-olds, so I'm not really sure what it's called, but it's like a splotchy redness that's on my back. And I think it can be anywhere on your body, but for some reason it's very common with 30-year-olds. And that cream is so expensive though, but it's working, thank God. But I couldn't even sleep at night because my back was itching chronically and it really sucked. So I'm so glad I have that cream. And then she looked at my skin and my moles, and she noticed, she was looking around, and there was a couple of moles too I wasn't really sure about. Like there was one that I've had for a really long time that was just like in a weird spot, and it was also a little bit bigger, but she's like, oh yeah, that's nothing to worry about because it's symmetrical. And there was some on my shoulder that she was like, oh yeah, those are fine for now, looking good. There was only one that she was actually like, ooh, we need to take a look at this. So on my back, at the primary care doctor, they also talked about this too. They were talking about this flat mole on my back that just stood out, I guess, to her. And I guess that's the same exact mole that the dermatologist was like, ooh, yeah, I definitely want to take a look at that one just to make sure that you're okay. So she ended up suggesting that we do a biopsy on my back. And she did a shave biopsy, so she numbed my skin on my back and shaved off the suspicious mole, and now I'm just waiting to hear back to see what they say. And I am like just playing the waiting game, but I'll let you guys know if there's anything else. It most likely will be nothing, but if it is, I'll just roll with the punches. So I'm not sure if you guys have ever had issues with your skin or other health issues too. You guys can let me know, but I'm pretty new to it. And dealing also with insurance has been terrible, but bet you guys can resonate with that one too. So I am wondering if you guys have ever had issues with your skin, and also too, I probably will have more biopsies in the future because I'm very fair-skinned and I am literally the portrait for having skin cancer because of my background. So I hope you guys enjoy and have a great week. Bye.
No such thing as a life that's better than yours. No such thing as a life that's better than yours. Love yours.